Hey everybody, welcome into the Thinking Crypto podcast, your home for cryptocurrency news and interviews. On your way in, please hit that subscribe button as well as the thumbs up button and leave a comment below. If you're listening on a podcast platform such as Spotify or Apple, please leave a 5-star rating and review. Folks, I want to start off by letting you know about the meme stocks that have been rallying, such as GameStop. And we got Roaring Kitty is back again. And we're seeing he's putting a ton of money into GameStop, folks. In fact, E-Trade is considering kicking him off the platform. So there's a whole bunch of drama here. And I'm not going to go through all the details. I'm sure you guys have heard about some of this. What I'm trying to hammer home here is these are symptoms of a macro bull market. What have I been telling you guys? We are in a uptrend. We are in a macro bull market tied to global liquidity. We're seeing assets on the rise, crypto, real estate, stocks, and so forth. So recognize where we're at. We're not in a bear market and we got more to go, but there will be a blow off top and that may happen within the next year. So just be prepared. Have a plan, check your emotions at the door. I'm saying these things because it's going to get crazy. It's going to get wild over the next 12 months. And you don't want to get too emotional. You don't want to have FOMO. Hopefully, many of you took your positions in the lows in the bear market when there was blood on the streets. And as I've been saying, I've been buying some of the dips for altcoins, which haven't really rallied or retraced yet. So I'm not really buying Bitcoin. I bought Bitcoin in December 2022, January 2023. So that's my Bitcoin holdings. But for certain altcoins, I'm buying more of. So these are things we saw in 2020, meme stocks, meme coins, and we're going to see a lot of retail coming in. So just be prepared. It's going to be a wild next 12 months, right? And have a plan, have your plan written down. So just heads up that this is happening, a symptom of a macro bull market. Now, I want to share some very bullish Hedera Hbar news. Many of you know I hold the Hbar token in my portfolio. I am diversified. I'm not a maximalist of any coin. I'm not here for a religion, a cult, or nice fancy fairy tales. I'm here to look at charts, adoption, and fundamentals. So the Hbar Foundation tweeted out today, together, Hyundai, South Korea's largest car manufacturer, and Kia have launched their supply chain with the power of the Hedera Network and AI. Through their supplier's CO2 emission monitoring system, both companies are computing carbon emissions at every stage of the supply chain. This enables them to secure reliable data across its suppliers' business operations, including procurement of raw materials and the manufacturing process and product transportation. The implementation of Hedera to manage carbon emissions is a significant step toward promoting sustainable practices in the automobile industry. Integrating AI and a high-performance DLT, distributed ledger technology, enables Hyundai, Kia, and partners to set carbon reduction targets and accurately predict future carbon emissions, fostering practical climate change mitigation efforts. Huge adoption news. If you are an investor in crypto, this is the type of adoption you want to see. These blockchains getting adoption from real companies in the world, not just some random small startup, but actual companies that are established. And obviously Hyundai, Kia are part of the same company and one of the largest car manufacturers out there in the world, a pretty strong brand. I've had Hyundai cars and so forth. So pretty significant. And also we're seeing one of the biggest use cases for the adoption of blockchain, and that is the ability to track carbon emissions and tokenization and much more. Other blockchains that do this include VeChain, but Hedera getting huge adoption, folks. And I'm very bullish on the Hbar token. Now, you shouldn't go buy Hbar because I'm telling you about this. I want you to go do your research. Skip that TV show, skip that Netflix show, spend 5 to 6 hours reading up on Hedera and who's part of the governing council and much more. Do your research, right? Don't just take secondhand information, but I'm pointing you to facts. This is massive adoption. And this is one of the tokens I continue to buy the dips for. In fact, if you saw my interview earlier, guys, and I highly recommend you watch this interview. I'm not saying that because I want views, but I'm telling you, there's so much knowledge, so much education in this interview that I did with Carmel Cadet of MTech. They are helping central banks to launch CBDCs, and they're using Hedera. Folks, she gives some great insights. What is the dialogue? What's happening? How are they looking at stablecoins and what's happening globally? So you got to check out this interview, folks. Do yourself a favor. Once again, skip that Netflix show, skip that TV show, and go and watch this. This is part of your research for Hedera. And another factor that we're seeing, our partner Santiment. And if you want to sign up for a free Santiment account, link will be in the description. You can get a discount using the code ThinkingCrypto. Hedera is the #1 blockchain with the most development activity over the past 30 days. Now, this does fluctuate, but Hedera has been in the top 10 for a long time. Now they're at #1. Number 2 is Optimism. Number 3 is Cardano. Number 4 is Chainlink. I have Hedera or HBAR, Cardano, ADA, and Chainlink in my portfolio. I don't have Optimism, just being transparent with you guys. But Hedera here is listed as the #1. So they're doing some big things. They're getting a lot of adoption. They got a lot of development activity on their blockchain. So these are significant data points and facts. I'm not making anything up. I'm just pointing you to the facts, and you have to make your own decisions and conclusions from there. Now, moving ahead, we got a report here that Solana saw nearly 500,000 tokens launch last month. Wow, 500,000. Obviously, a lot of that has been meme coins, right? There's tons of meme coins launching on Solana, and I'm not hating. I'm just saying be careful. Meme coins are the riskiest segment of the crypto market. But this is huge adoption news for Solana. I can't ignore this. So the number of new tokens on Solana has reached a monthly high not seen by any other chain to date. This was largely due to the success of certain meme coins and the ability for anyone to launch a token in a few seconds. So this is key for getting your blockchain to get adopted, making it easy for developers, consumers, and so forth to use it, whether they're launching tokens or they're using it for transactions or whatever it may be. Obviously, Solana does have to fix some things. They've had a lot of downtime over years. They have the Fire Dancer upgrade that's coming, I think in June or next month, which should solve this, but we have to wait and see. As I told you guys, I have some Solana tokens in my portfolio. I'm riding the liquidity wave, the VCs, pumping this token. And obviously it's getting adoption, and I'm going to take profits. I'm going to pretty much sell my whole bag of Solana at the top. I will buy back in if this Fire Dancer upgrade works out well. I'll buy back in the bear market, of course, come 2026, and when we are near the bottom. So rinse and repeat. That's how you got to do it, my friends. A great place to buy HBAR and Solana, folks, is Uphold. It's a great crypto platform I've been using since 2018. They have 260 plus cryptocurrencies. You can also trade precious metals on this platform, such as gold, silver, palladium, and platinum. And Uphold is fully reserved. They have transparency reports and audits that you can go review. They don't commingle or lend out your funds. And they have a great system called Vault, which allows you to back up your private keys. So that's a great way to give yourself some peace of mind. So if you'd like to learn more about Uphold, check out the link in the description. Now, folks, we had gotten some not so good news on Friday that President Biden had vetoed the SOB 121 repeal bill. However, Democrats are still putting up a fight. Remember, Democrats sided with Republicans in the House and Senate to not only repeal SOB 121, but also pass the FIT 21 bill in the House. So here you have one of the top Democrats, Ro Khanna, went on MSNBC today and called out Biden, saying he needs to support the bills, the crypto bills, and get this in order. He tweeted out about crypto, but in addition, he talked about other technologies. Let me read the entire tweet here. He said, Democrats have delivered on innovation and entrepreneurship with the CHIPS and Science Act and the IRA. The White House should also support Patrick McHenry's FIT 21 Act to bring regulatory clarity for blockchain and crypto and support those jobs here in the US. This is big. Once again, a Democrat coming out, one of the top ones, right? Coming out and saying Biden should support a Republican's bill. So it's great that, the folks in the Congress and the Senate are looking to get this done. And my hope is the FIT 21 bill makes it through the Senate. And I don't, if they can get it done before the summer, before everybody starts going to their home bases to start, the whole election cycle, then that would be great. But, we have to wait and see how things play out. But this is significant. And Biden, if he keeps listening to Elizabeth Warren, he's going to lose big time. Paul Grewal, chief legal officer at Coinbase, retweeted Ro Khanna and said the co-chair of the Sanders 2020 presidential campaign and leading advocate for President Biden's reelection in 2024 is calling on the White House to support FIT 21. maybe, just maybe, the White House ought to listen. He's right. And the other thing that's not good for many Democrats, and they see the writing on the wall, but Elizabeth Warren continues to control Biden here on crypto, at least. Many crypto industry players are donating millions of dollars to support pro-crypto candidates and kick out anti-crypto politicians. So we saw recently Ripple donated $25 million. Andreessen Horowitz, A16Z, they donated an additional $25 million. Now we got news that Coinbase, Brian Armstrong came out and said, we've donated a $25 million again. He said they donated to vote out anti-crypto politicians from Congress. Putting the clear signal out there. So these people who are aligning themselves with Elizabeth Warren are going to be in a world of hurt come the election cycle. We saw it on Super Tuesday. One of them, and I forgot her name, she was out of California. She blatantly came out and said, yeah, I aligned myself with Elizabeth Warren on this issue, and that's why I lost. So Elizabeth Warren is taking down the ship here, and Biden better watch out or he's going to get taken down in the election. Now, folks, I want to let you all know about a hacker exploit on a Chrome plugin. So hackers exploit Chrome plugin to steal millions from Binance accounts. The promotional plugin steals cookies from users, which hackers use to bypass password and two-factor authentication verification and log into victims' Binance accounts. So this is not good. The plugin is Agger, A-G-G-R. So I've never heard of this, but be careful. Folks, this is why I always tell you guys to use hardware wallets like the Ledger Nano X and S. I use that to back up the majority of my cryptocurrencies. I do have some crypto on Coinbase, but I trust Coinbase because they're insured and they're a public company and so forth, but I don't keep all my crypto on there. So just be careful. And some of the security measures that I personally take are I have 2 laptops, one dedicated for crypto. I also have 2 phones, one dedicated for crypto and one is my personal. So the secondary phone that has my two-factor authentication stuff in there and it stays offline. And the other laptop that I have for crypto, it is not used for any other thing. So when you're talking about crypto and the potential to make millions and hundreds of thousands of dollars, it's worth buying, maybe spend a couple of $1,000s on a laptop or an extra phone to protect that investment because, all these things are still new and hackers are constantly looking at ways to exploit this technology. So we got to be careful. We got to be vigilant, folks. So be smart. Think about the safety of your funds and how you can better secure things. Now, MicroStrategy, Michael Saylor settled with DCAG for $40 million in income tax fraud case. So this has kind of gone under the radar, but I remember it came up, I think it was last year. Michael Saylor, I'm kind of, in annoyance with him because he recently lied to people saying, oh, no, Ethereum ETF is coming. We know he's a Bitcoin maxi, so he shits on everything that's not Bitcoin, but that's stupid, right? I hate maximalism. Whether you're a Bitcoin maxi, an Ethereum maxi, an XRP maxi, it's a waste of time. And if you look at it from a psychological standpoint, it's essentially the aspect of human nature where people gravitate to cults and religion, right? And then that becomes their whole ethos, and then they can't see anything else. They become blinded. But this is just a technology and an asset class. Why are you making it a religion? But we know he's just pretty much talking his book and trying to pump his bags. And once again, it could be a Bitcoin maxi, XRP maxi, Ethereum maxi, whatever maxi. You failed if you are a maxi. In my opinion, the free market, the world continues to move forward. So, it is what it is. But let me give you the details here. So the case marks the largest income tax fraud recovery in DC. We have the Attorney General Brian Schwab posted about the resolution in a series of X posts. So I'm sure Saylor's not going to want to talk about this. He tweeted out, Michael Saylor, billionaire tech executive and investor, will pay $40 million to the district in the largest income tax fraud recovery in DC history. Saylor not only broke the law, he openly bragged about his tax evasion scheme and encouraged others to follow his example. Folks, let me give you some advice. Don't mess with the IRS. Don't mess with the IRS. Look, Saylor is a billionaire and he can pay all this, but you and I can't afford to do that. And the IRS, they will come after you, man. So you got to make sure your taxes are taken care of, especially if you're taking profits on crypto. And even if you're going from crypto to stable coins and, doing any type of mixing of crypto. So just be careful out there. Once again, the IRS, you don't want to mess with them. Here's a quote. Saylor illegally pretended to live in lower tax jurisdictions to avoid paying taxes on hundreds of millions of dollars of income, all while living in a 7,000 square foot Georgetown penthouse and docking multiple yachts at Washington Harbor. Schwab added. Look, he resolved it though. He has the money to do that, so this is nothing for him. It's like a bump in the road. Let's move ahead. So Binance CEO Changpeng Zhao, also known as CZ, has reported to a California federal prison to begin a 4-month sentence for failing to safeguard the crypto exchange against money laundering. So look, he's going to spend 4 months. This is nothing. And then he'll be free and he'll be back to doing what he's got to do. He's still well off. He's still a billionaire. And while he has to stay away from Binance, he's still going to have some connections. He's going to be all right, but 4 months is nothing. In fact, I don't think he should have been going to jail over this because it was back in the day. It's not like he stole money like Sam Bankman-Fried, right? Like stealing billions from people. Binance has never been involved in any type of fraud. This is just AML. They should have, this is like a speeding ticket. Like, hey, okay, pay the fine and move on, right? Binance didn't get shut down. So there was no fraud or major crime here. So it is what it is, but this is nothing. And I'm sure he's going to have a nice setup and everything, the best of the best in his jail, wherever he's staying as far as prison. Now, Circle CEO Jeremy Allaire, which issues USDC to stablecoin, tweeted out the following. He says, major changes coming in European digital assets markets on June 30th with the effectiveness of MiCA stablecoin regulations. So the EU has passed crypto regulations, so has the UK. The US continues to drag its feet, even though the FIT21 bill made it out the House. So let me give you the details. Stablecoins will be regulated in the EEA, which means in practice that only certain regulated companies will be able to issue and offer public stablecoins. Those stablecoins will be regulated stablecoins. Several existing stablecoins may not fall into this category and will therefore be subject to certain restrictions. These will be categorized as unauthorized stablecoins. So this is interesting. And what does it mean for, folks like Tether, which exists outside of the US as far as operations, even though I don't believe Tether is in the same position it was years ago. I've been on record that I think Tether probably did some shady stuff back in the day. Today, no. And here are my reasons. You go to their website, you can see their audits and attestations. Also, Howard Lutnick, who is the CEO of Wall Street firm Cantor Fitzgerald, came out at Davos saying they have the money, we reviewed it, and so forth. However, what I think this is mostly about is KYC AML. So they want to make sure whoever is bringing their funds to Tether that there's proper KYC AML as they issue the tokens. In addition to reserves, don't get me wrong. I think reserves, we need to make sure these companies have their reserves. But I think, once again, Tether issues in maybe 4 to 5 years ago. Today, not so much. And I've interviewed the CEO recently. So we'll see how this all plays out, but there's other smaller stablecoins they're going to want to regulate. Obviously, you got Circle's USDC, which is the second largest behind Tether, and then Ripple is looking to launch one. PayPal has one, PYUSD, and there's some other startups that are coming that want to launch stablecoins as well. So we'll see where the chips fall once this is released and what it means for some of these stablecoin operators. All right, folks, that's the news. Don't forget to grab a copy of my book, Rethinking Crypto, which is on Amazon in both paperback and digital. Please grab a copy to support the podcast. If you already bought a copy, please leave a review. It would really help me out with the book's rankings and so forth. And buy a couple copies for your friends and family so they can learn about crypto. It covers everything, crypto's past, present, and future. And it can help them to understand what this technology is, what the future application looks like, and much more. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching and listening, and I'll talk to you all later.